Welcome to Don't You Know I'm Local podcast, where we're breaking generational curses and normalizing mental health. We're four cousins who span two generations, and we're here to share our own experiences on our mental health and healing journeys. Join us as we talk about the things we're not supposed to talk about. See.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome to episode 4.
Yes.
Yay!
Going by pretty fast.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, we've been doing it for a little bit, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our practices.
Yeah, we practiced like a whole month in advance.
We didn't just come out here like fools.
Yeah.
We gotta
Those
put it together.
those first
No, like locals.
yeah.
Like
those,
locals.
those first practices were rough.
Yeah.
yeah, they were.
I think we're picking up a pretty good flow with each other.
Yeah.
Let us know what you guys think. If you,
Yeah.
you know,
We love all the feedback. You can hit us up on our Instagram.
Yeah, see, if you see some opportunities or something, let us know. 'Cause
Yeah.
we want to improve.
Yeah, definitely. So this week we're gonna start off with a challenge that we all had, or if not, and how we recovered from it.
How we dealt with it,
Yeah, how we dealt with it. So who wants to start off?
I guess I can go first.
Okay.
My biggest challenge this week was was Thursday when I was trying to edit the last episode.
Oh, uh-huh.
Me and Candy were texting back and forth because she does the Spotify and I do the YouTube. And for some reason, when I came upstairs to do my laundry, I went back downstairs. I had already finished halfway, and it disappeared on me. I was like, "What? No!" So
wait. Say like what disappeared?
the editing.
Editing that he had
Yeah.
done.
So I was like, no. I was like, I'm
Yeah.
halfway through, so I started again. I finished it, and then when I pressed play to watch it and make sure everything was good, the beginning got to the middle somehow. I'm like, oh my god!
Oh no!
I was so mad. I was gonna tell Kenny, you do it yourself. Download your podcast.
It was a remix.
Oh my
I was just so
god!
frustrated. I was like, you know what? Forget this. I'm gonna take the rest of the day off with this. We went to dinner. We went to Chili's.
Oh yeah.
And then I was like, nope, I'm not gonna touch it tonight.
Yeah.
And I finished it Friday, and I was like, I'm taking the rest of the day out. Like, I didn't work out. I didn't do
Yeah.
It was a lazy
Yeah.
day, and I think we need to do that more often. Is definitely have a day off from everything, decompress. And
Yeah.
it was nice. It was a good day off.
Yeah. What did I do?
Actually, I just experienced mine coming here with my daughter. So we're gonna talk about ADHD today, by the way, but this kind of cuts into it.
Uh-huh.
So I'm working on my time to be on time, right? 'Cause
Management.
I'm really, really bad at time
Yeah.
management. Yes.
Mhm.
And I told my daughter, I was like, hey, we're gonna have to leave at this time. Like, be ready. Like I'm coming home from work. Blah blah blah. Right.
Mhm.
So I'm thinking, she's ready. Like everything's good. And I get home and I change really quick, and she's laying in bed, and I'm like, okay. And I'm like retouching my makeup and stuff from this morning, and she's still in bed, and I'm like, okay, let's get up. We gotta go, right? And then so she comes downstairs, but I'm like already in the car, and this is like the second or third time that I've already like been in the car waiting for her, and I was like, oh, I went back inside, and I was like, get your ass in the car, and I never ever cuss at her. I cuss all the time, but not at her, right?
Yeah.
I felt like shit. Oh my god, it was horrible. But I said, get your ass in the car, right? And so she was like, okay. Like, okay, right?
Hey, Joe Sergeant.
Yeah. And so I get in the car, and I'm like driving, and I'm like seeing her in the rearview mirror, and I'm like, okay, I'm so mad because I'm like, dude, like I was on time,
Mhm.
And I like thought to myself, I took a deep breath, and I was like, prayed a little bit, and then I was like, you know what? I was like, you know what? Let me explain this to you. Like, I was like, I'm not mad. I promise you. I was like, my voice is probably loud because I'm upset, but I'm not mad at you. She's like, okay. And then I was like, look, I'm working on my time management. Like, I'm working on
Mhm.
myself. And I was like, and it doesn't help when you're just, like, and it's a problem for both of us, right?
Mhm.
Like, we're both like, the worst. I have to be somewhere like right away. We have to work together so we can, leave the house on time and make it on time and whatever, right? So like when I was explaining it to her and I can see in the rearview mirror, she's like, and I was like, oh, she got it, right? She got it because she was just.
She thought you just blew up on her.
Yeah, and I was like, oh,
there's no reason for it.
I wasn't like mad at her. I was just mad, like, I was upset about the time and everything, and I explained it. I was like, hey, like, we both have to work together. We both have to leave at a certain time. Like, how are we gonna like work this, And then she was kind of like, and I was like, think about it, and then we'll come to it. And she's like, okay. So we're probably gonna talk about it in the car. But for me, the challenge was I yelled and I did something that I used to do before, and like I stepped back and I was like, whoa, and I explained everything to her, right? Like I just told her, hey, this, and this, and I also told her about how you guys have lives too, and you guys have time. It's your time too, right? I'm not gonna waste anybody's time. That's like the worst. Is wasting anybody's time, and we have to respect our times and stuff. So she was like, oh, okay, mom. And I was like, so I mean, that was.
That's good. What about you?
Huh?
What about you?
What about
We're going in order.
My challenge, I was thinking back for it because I have hundreds of challenges every day. The challenge I'm going to use today is, or for this week, was relationships. Struggling with it still. Well, I'm always going to struggle with it, right? Because I said I was never going to be in one after Tommy passed away. But the last time we spoke, I thought he was crazy.
Yeah, you said he was manipulative. I believe.
Yeah, that he was a narcissist.
Narcissist,
right?
But then he made you recognize that you were the one.
Yeah. Then he started doing that. But then, I came across one of the first guys that I started dating after Tommy, and I came across him and I was like, "Hey, what's up?" And he's like, "Hey," and I just asked him. I was just blatantly asked him. I was like, "Hey," I was like, "Why? What happened with us? Like, what is it that?" What I know we were like really like into each other, but and he's like, he analyzes things a lot, and what he did was he analyzed what happened, and he said what I was doing was, and what I'm still trying to do is I'm trying to continue an 11.5 year relationship with the next person that I meet. So in my head, the person that I'm just getting to know is Tommy. So I'm like yelling at Tommy and I'm doing this and I'm doing it, and they freak out and they run. And that's a challenge for me. That's a challenge because I don't know how to date. The two actual big relationships that I had were like,
I wouldn't call them big relationships.
Well, Sam and Tommy.
Oh, the ones before.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Those two relationships.
Like right now.
No, those two relationships we met and we moved in with each other. Both of them. So I don't know what it's like to date. That's gonna be my biggest challenges. Is the boundaries, the giving each other space,
That's why you need to get to know yourself.
Yes, I know. That's what he told me too. He's like, it's so much fun to be by yourself. He's
It's
just
so
get
fun.
to because he's by himself.
Can I say something? It feels like you're almost really invested in this guy. Like you're totally just shutting everybody out, and you're just, this is what I'm doing is working in this guy, and you're totally not paying attention to anything else.
Well, no, because that's what was keeping me busy. That's what I wanted to do.
Not.
You guys have. He has all the free time in the world. He has all the free time in the world, so I could just pop in whenever. I can't do that with Lisa. She was going to school or homework. Everybody has their lives, and I gravitated towards that he had like a lot of time, and I just wanted to be there. My lunch breaks, I was there. Like after work, I'll go. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
and that's a challenge. The challenge is getting to know who I am first. Like, what did he say? How the hell are we supposed to love someone else?
Oh, how you gonna
RuPaul.
Break it down.
RuPaul.
He goes, what does it say? If you don't love yourself, how the hell are you gonna love somebody else? Can I get an amen? Okay. They always say it at the end of every episode. It is. Yeah,
Absolutely.
and it's
Can't
so
love
true.
yourself how I didn't even love. I wanted to die,
Mm,
Damn.
and I'm here trying to, trying to rekindle a relationship that
yeah.
never existed.
Mm-hmm.
With this individual.
Yeah.
So I was very grateful for that friend, a new friend now that I have.
Opening your eyes.
That opening my eyes, because he was
Yeah.
straight up with me. He was like, he was schooling me. Like, it was like, this is what you were doing. This is how I
I love
felt.
people that do
This
that.
is how that. And he's like, and I know it's hurting. And I know you feel embarrassed probably, but I'm gonna tell you. And I was just like,
Mm.
I didn't stop him for nothing. I just listened to the whole half an hour of him telling me everything I
So what
did.
did he say?
Huh?
I'm joking.
Spill. Let us know.
Let's compare.
Yeah.
Yeah, joking.
No, yeah. So yeah. I guess I have to learn to love myself. I'm gonna learn
Yeah.
to be by myself. That's gonna be the hardest thing because I'm very codependent.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna talk about that. Very
Very
much so.
codependent.
That's we need to talk about that.
Tommy helped me out a little when he was around.
Yeah.
I went to Europe by myself. Come on, that was a
Mhm.
big move right there.
Yeah.
But he taught me how to be someone. But as soon as he passed away, like I feel like
You forgot.
it went away.
Yeah.
Yeah, so codependency
That's a
Oh,
good
yeah.
topic.
Yeah, we're gonna talk
Woo!
about that.
gave me
Yeah.
anxiety.
Yeah. No, yeah.
But
No, yeah.
No, yeah.
that's my challenge.
Oh,
How about yours, Candy?
I don't know. I'm trying to go back and think.
Even like a
Um,
small thing.
a
Could be
small challenge? Hmm. I don't know.
Yeah, no, this
Bass.
is way off
I'm on
topic,
bass. What about
Uh-huh.
bass?
Best.
Yeah.
Best.
We gotta
Today
introduce you
was
to bass.
I'm a best.
best.
You know about bass.
Best.
You
Bass.
just said you're gonna go way off topic.
Yeah. That was
Oh.
way off topic. Best. Best. That's my daily challenge
I got
to
it.
not lose my shit at work. I think because lately everything that's been going on, I've kind of been like slow to like clean my house and like I've kind of left that to my husband to do and it's not so like this week I felt myself like I finally cleaned out like my winter, traded my winter for my summer clothes, put that away and stuff like that. Because I was looking around the house and I'm like, dude, there's so much clutter and there's so much stuff, and I can't expect him to pick up. So I was like, all right. When I talk to myself, I say, Candelaria, what are you doing? Get your shit together. So that would say that was my challenge. That it was like, okay, you let this go too far, and you need to wake up.
You realized it.
You need to get back into the routine. So yeah. So my house is good now. Aside from my aside from my dog stirring the shit up. My babies are so precious. I know.
The Godfather.
Oh, how cute. Yeah.
And how many kids?
I thought it was a god.
No.
Sure.
Godfather.
Dog. I
Both.
know.
That's so funny.
I know. I always say I want to be a stay-at-home dog mom.
I know, like I get home and I see the dogs and I'm like, you guys gotta stay home and sleep all day and eat.
Yeah.
Then you come back to them and they're like,
Yeah.
all day.
So, how dare you be so loud? Oh my gosh, how funny. Oh. Cool.
Hi. The time has came that we're gonna talk about ADHD. Something to talk about.
What is
it? Well, according to the National Institute of Mental Health, also known as NIH, describes or defines, what is ADHD? ADHD is attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. It is marked by, oh my gosh, I'm not even joking.
Oh, it's serious. She got her glasses on.
Is marked by an ongoing pattern of inattention and or hyperactivity impulsivity that interferes with functions or development.
Kind of like what you're going through right now.
Everything that I'm experiencing, yes.
At this moment.
No. Okay, well, I'll start from the beginning. Myself, Manny and I moved all the time, right? We every 2 years we were moving somewhere. Um, we went to myself, I went to 4 elementary schools and 3 high schools, right?
We weren't getting kicked out.
No, it's just our parents wanted
Yeah,
better,
they
and they
wanted
just wanted to, grow and just get out and just venture out, whatever. And we were far. And a lot of times, most of the time, well, let me go a little bit back. Before I started school, I didn't know English. We didn't know English, right? Our parents only spoke Spanish. My dad, he actually spoke a little bit of English, and he like improved throughout the years, and he's just he got fluent, and he was good. But and my mom too, she has an accent and everything, but that's not their first language.
3, 2, 1, go.
Our parents, they didn't speak English. Like their first language was their native language is Spanish, and how are they going to teach us English if they don't even know it themselves, right? I know it sounds so like duh, but I had to break it down like this so I could understand myself, because I fought with myself throughout all the years, right? All the years through school, I was fighting with myself because I didn't know who I was, right? And anyway, in elementary, I struggled so much because our parents were working and they weren't around as much. We're kind of like on our own a little bit, but I didn't develop like social skills. So a lot of the times when I would, meet friends or anything like that, it was like they would look at me like I had 3 eyes or something, right? Because I don't think I spoke with an accent, but I'm pretty, like, I would have a problem understanding them, or vice versa, right? Because we're kids. We don't know. What do you do as a kid if somebody's different? You're going to pick on them, right?
Yeah.
So now, every school that we went to, I experienced so much discrimination because I was maybe not the only brown girl, but one of the 5 or whatever, Everybody else was white.
Yeah.
The farther you guys kept moving out.
Yeah.
And it was a struggle every time, right?
Yeah.
Luckily, we were able to go to your guys' house on the weekends, and we were able to, like, still, have that kind of social life, right? But it sucked. It sucked, like, people are mean. Kids are mean, and, but I'm okay now.
Look at you, boy.
Fuck them kids.
Fuck them kids.
No. And in high school, like, it was real, like, I hate to say it. I really, really hate to say it, but I just got by because the teachers felt bad for me, right? Not one time did I have a teacher. Oh, excuse me. I had one teacher when I was in first grade. That was Mrs. Sanchez, and then she was Mrs. Martinez, and she always like let me eat in the classroom, in her classroom and stuff. And it's little things like that. You're just like, oh my gosh, like I experienced that and I didn't even know, because you just are living your life.
You think it's normal.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's so fucked up. Yeah. And
I did not know some of that.
yeah.
Wow. I'm shocked. Real quick, funny story. When they were living at our house, and there was a paper on the ground, and I picked it up, and I crumbled it up, and I threw it in the trash. I didn't think twice of it. It was Lisa's, like, spelling.
Yes.
Especially
spelling. Especially spelling.
I threw it away. And her dad came home, and she told her dad with the loose, and he ripped me a new one. Where I started crying.
Oh no. Oh.
Oh, it sucks.
I was like 9 years old. I'll never forget that. That's so traumatic to me.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's crazy how you
'Cause
remember
my dad
trauma.
was mean. Or he
Yeah.
wasn't like, he was
He was
mean, but he
protective.
was like,
He's protected.
yeah,
Yeah.
like a
Protective.
real pit bull. He was like, real, yeah. And I was daddy's girl, so
Yeah, you
Oh
were.
yeah.
you better watch yourself. Um,
Still never forgive you for that.
all right, ADHD.
Yes.
We're gonna go back to this. Let me show you guys really quick. I joined the military when I was
22?
22, something like that. Because of this guy, not because of him, but he's the one. Like he wanted to
joined
get
first.
promoted.
Oh yeah. I never got promoted.
No, you never.
Wait,
He wanted like the
was that like
$2,000 GI.
I got the money.
No, what is it?
It was like a bonus.
Yeah, whatever.
I didn't think you were gonna
So he
join.
was like, oh, call my cousin, blah, 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 right? And I was like,
I was like,
fuck it,
join?
I'm not doing anything else, right? I was working like at a doctor's office and just, paying my bills or whatever, but no future at all, right?
Yeah.
And because I have always been on survival mode, right? Like since I was a kid, right? Because I never understood. I was always like one step behind, right? Or maybe even 2 or 3, 4 steps behind. But when I when I went into the military, before that, I went to college. I went to RCC, and I was like, you know what? Like, I think I can do this. Like, come on, like I think I can do this. And I went to 2 classes, right? And it was a public speaking class. My last name starts with an A. That's the first one, right? I remember, right? I had my shit here, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna go up there. I hate going up in front of people, right? So I grab my she calls me. She's like, and so I get up and I get my shit and I go out the door. I couldn't do it.
Oh my
I
God.
couldn't do it.
You quit? Like
I
you just
quit.
went
I
and you
quit
didn't look back.
school, and I didn't look back.
Public speaking is a terrible
It
class.
was
That's the worst
horrible.
one.
And you know what's crazy is that when I was in the military, I had to
Do it all the
speak in front of
time.
people, right? So it was like, you know what? I think it was the uniform that I was like kind of shielding everything because whatever comes out of your mouth doesn't matter. Crazy the stuff that comes out. But I'm good now. I'm good now. I'm going to school now. It's funny because I was already going to school the last few months. Like I started going back again because I was like, no, homegirl, like you need to do this. Do it for yourself. Do it for your daughter. Just do it, right? Like the military's paying you for it. Like you did your time. Like just do the damn thing, right? But I hate school, right? All my friends, like they all like went to school and everything, and they would try to convince me, and they'd be like, oh, you could do this, you could do that, like you should go to school, like always pushing it out, Michelle. I was like, no, and I was like, well, she can do it. She has kids, she has family, like fuck it, I can do it, right? And I just couldn't do it. I just didn't do it, right? For years and years and years. Fast forward to 2023 is when I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. I hate it. I still hate it. I'm kicking and screaming the whole way through because I hate it.
Yeah.
But I haven't quit yet.
Good for you.
But it's the struggle. It's a struggle.
It's hard.
Right?
It's hard. You go to work and then you have homework to do. Like that's the last thing I want to do.
Yeah, it is.
It's awful.
It's yeah. Fast forward, I had my daughter. I was in relationships and that didn't work out, and I'm not gonna go into that. Sorry. But when I was, I think I told you guys a story before about my daughter had a teacher reach out to me, email me about, like, hey, she's struggling a little bit. She's like, doesn't want to stay in her seat. She talks to everybody, and she doesn't whisper, like, I was like, whisper. And
Like, what's wrong with that?
yeah. No, but when I was reading the email, I read it a couple times because I was like, really? And I was like, oh yeah. And then I was like, okay. And I remember listening to a podcast before introducing another podcast about ADHD, right? And I'm such a nerd when it comes to podcasts, all kinds. And it was introducing. It was Mel Robbins.
I like Mel
She's
Robbins.
she's so. Oh, I love
I
her.
love her. Yeah.
Do you know who
And
that is?
Huh?
Do you know who that is?
No,
Mel
who's Mel
Rob-
Robbins?
I don't.
She is. I think she was like a defensive attorney. Or she was
Yeah.
an attorney for years and years and
New
years. So she
York.
knows a lot, right?
Oh, okay.
So she's very inspirational. She just tells the truth, right? And she gets it. She's real raw, real. I love her. But we actually have the same kind of story, except I think she was like 46, 47 when she found out. But it was life changing. And when she was okay, so I listened to the podcast. No, I was avoiding that podcast, right? Because I was like, I didn't want to face it. Like, I knew there was something wrong. I knew it wasn't, but I was like, okay, finally, like when I read that letter from the school, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it, right? So I listened to it and I was like, oh my gosh, I felt like she was talking to me, right? It was crazy, all the similarities. I had all the symptoms, right? So, like before, we talked about the symptoms, but before that, I did want to go into a little bit of the background. ADHD was first like diagnosed in like the late 1970s, right? And when they did that testing, it was all Caucasian boys, right? So not Caucasian girls, but Caucasian boys, right? So the whole female girl, everything like wasn't even like considered anything, right? Like they weren't tested, they weren't, so they were getting by, right? Struggling, but they were getting by, and we always think, oh, ADHD is like, it's the boys that like can't stay still and they're like, or they just like blurt anything out, or they're very like, entitled or whatever, but it's like, silver tooth.
Little silver tooth bastards running around.
Little shits.
The silver tooth kid.
Silver tooth. The kids that have silver teeth are always like the traviesos. No.
No.
You know.
I do.
Yeah, you do.
Yes.
How you know?
Silver tooth.
It's just
That makes me sad though, because it's like they couldn't, our families couldn't afford to not be silver tooth.
Really?
Yeah, like the kids that get
I
cavities.
don't think
No,
it's
no.
that. It's
I
just
know.
those are so bad.
Yes, I know. But even when it's like,
I know.
no, I know. But yes, silver. What do they call it? Silver tooth activities. Yeah.
That's what I think about when I think of ADHD, the silver tooth kid.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Actually, you know what?
I'm going to.
That makes sense.
The iPod's there for
That
it.
makes sense. That makes sense. And it's funny because like in our culture, like ADHD is nothing. Like we don't even like, it's something made up that the white man did, right? Like it's something they put in your head, and but the stuff that explains, why we do the things we do, once you're diagnosed, because then you know what to look for and what pertains to you and what doesn't pertain to you. Because some of the stuff, like, because there's 3 types of ADHD, and we'll go over that in a minute. But going back to touching on the, I'm gonna learn today.
We're going to get school today. It's another school. See, I'm going to
Did you
school.
bring your notebook?
There's gonna be a quiz after.
No. I was reading this article about Hispanic women with ADHD. It was a case example. It was written by Roberta Waite and J. Russell Ramsey. And I'm just going to take the quote right out because it was just so like touching, right? She put, you don't ask anybody outside of the family for help. You don't air out your dirty laundry. Quote unquote, she stated, it's not a bad thing to ask for help, but stigma is something that is still very real and rules over the family, challenging a breakthrough. Okay, so, I mean, she was going into medication, and I'm not going to talk about medication right now, but it was like that got me because I'm like, that's so true, how we don't talk about that. You just are considered a bad kid, or they suck at school or whatever, you know, and it's like, oh, there's just not gonna be nobody or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
But instead of like talking to the kid, you know, taking him to therapy or taking him to someone, just listen to the kids,
Mm-hmm.
you know, like listen to their struggle, their days, their, you know, ask them questions, whatever, right? Because we weren't able to do that,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I feel like we could have benefited from, you know, special help or special.
So is ADHD is it something that comes in your genes, or is it
Yes.
something that because of the way you were raised?
No. It comes from your genes. Well, the way it was explained to me, and I know it's gonna sound a little silly, but you know how like we have like your brain, like it's like the front part of your brain, and I will get you guys the actual terminology for it, but it's like, you know, you have all these nerves and stuff that connect, right? And they go all through your brain, and then, you know, however they do it, science. There's some nerves. What would you call them? Like
The neurons?
the neurons. Thank you. The neurons, like they're connected, but it's like they get like a short or like something's like blocking it, right?
Okay.
And those blocks are when we, you know, get lost or we lose our train of thought or we have like, you know, all the symptoms and all the stuff come out, right? Your ADHD comes out.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to go over really quick the reasoning behind, you know, some of these things, you know, and it's coming from me, right?
We're not doctors.
We are not doctors. I'm telling you like what my notes were here, okay?
Your own experience.
Yes, my own experience. Why we're overwhelmed. Touching back again with the neurotypicals, actually they're called. I just had to spell it out. But it's the nervous system that, you know, it needs to like engage with everything, right? And so those deficit.
It's a tough word.
Sometimes like words do not like I can't say it. Is
Yeah.
that weird?
Yeah.
Do you guys do that too?
Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah.
More often than none.
I think the correct term is deficit.
Deficit. What did we say? Deficit?
Deficit. It's a deficit.
Attention. I said the two.
Yeah. It's deficit.
Deficit. We said it backwards.
Yeah.
Deficit. Yeah.
So I also think I have dyslexia, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Big time.
Man, no.
Yeah.
That's something I'm gonna have to like
Yeah.
talk to my doctor about because I haven't brought that up, but I know that's something.
Yeah.
Mine is dyslexia, but with numbers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I have problems.
I get anxiety when I do have to do reports about numbers at work, and I had to tell my boss. I was like, I can't. I freak out. I start sweating and I start looking. I just stare at the numbers and then I just don't do the report.
You won't do it?
I would rather her email me and say, how come you didn't do the report? And like, oh my god. But when she came back, I finally told her. I was like, hey, there's something wrong. I was like, I don't know what it is. I have to go. You know, when I get my insurance, it kicks in. It kicks in soon. I'm gonna take advantage of everything that they have. I was like, but I know it's something.
We're going to hold you accountable on this podcast. We're going to say, did you get your insurance yet? Okay. When did you
No,
make-
I am.
Okay, good.
I never took advantage of my dental. Never took
Oh,
advantage of
yeah.
any of that stuff.
I'll be going to the dentist all the time.
Like, can y'all just take them off? Put 'em off.
Right?
Sorry, I didn't mean to guess.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
ADHD.
Actually, you know what? Let's go back to that. The actual symptoms. Okay. Going back to the symptoms. Like I mentioned before, anxiety, a feeling of overwhelmed, stressed out, frequent mood swings, low frustration. This month, today in traffic, I was like, I couldn't, like, I was like,
We're on the 15 today? Oh my god, that was horrible.
no. This is coming in from Thursdays. Is today Thursday? No, today's
Today's
Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Oh. Coming from Arizona, because I was in BC. Coming from Arizona, I get all that traffic, people coming in. Oh, it's crazy. But yeah, I almost lost it. Forgetting why I walk into a room.
I do it all the time.
I do that
All
too.
the time, right?
Yeah.
Losing my train of thought.
Guilty.
No, it's crazy because that to me tells me like when it was explained to me about the things, I'm like, I must have like the biggest block.
There's a bark. Somebody hit it with a lighter.
Right? Because I'm like, shit, like, this is like, it hits.
Yeah.
Right? It hits. We process things different. We, it takes us a little bit more time to do things because it's gonna take us a minute to figure it out. You know, like
Because we're always late.
we learn. Okay, so the whole late thing. Let me read this. Let me read you my notes because I was like. So those that don't know me, I have a horrible
Chronic.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think it's beyond chronic.
The craziest part, real quick, is I don't know how that didn't get fixed in the military.
I don't know.
Because the military, they say if you're there on time, you're late. And if you're there 15 minutes early, you're on time.
I was there on time, or like when we were like we were late. No, yeah, actually, yeah, even the military.
Dude, the military didn't fix that.
Let me read you my notes like real quick.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna read you this from the Attitude Commitment. It is from the. I want to make sure to give the references out and those who wrote this shit. You know.
Citations.
Yeah, my citations.
Your word cited. I hate word cited.
Okay. Why we're time challenged? Because people with ADHD don't have a reliable sense of time. Oh my gosh. Everything happens right now or not at all, along with the concept of ordination. What must be done first, what must come second. 3 must be the concept of time. 85% of ADHD patients don't wear or own a watch.
Hey, you have one.
Oh.
It doesn't work.
Oh, it was his watch. Not a watch. It used to be his watch, and she put his picture up.
Oh my god.
Actually, it was
You have to show it. Show it. Yeah, that's so cute. It looks like a school picture. Yeah.
My problem is I put way too much in my plate
Yeah.
before an event or before I have to be somewhere. I'm like, ooh, let me do this, this, and this because it's gonna save me time later. No, it's not. I'm just gonna be late to this because I was waiting over here and I was waiting in line or I was whatever caused me to be late to this one thing. I'm doing like 4 other things over here. You know, like it's a lot of juggling. It's exhausting. It's it's mind fucking, right? And the way we kind of release it or kind of there's no cure. There's no cure for this, or you can only treat it. You can only with your self-awareness, with practicing. You could either like write it down, write a schedule, right? Brush your teeth, brush your hair, get your breakfast going, whatever, right? Like detailed, or you say it out loud. It's crazy the little simple things that we can do to help us, right? Like I started doing the whole writing it down, like not like going to like brush my teeth or anything like that, but it's more like get your gym clothes ready, get your your work outfits together. Like I change like 3 or 4 times. You would think I'm like a supermodel because I literally change like 4 times a day, but I have to carry a lot of stuff with me, right? So I have to make sure that's ready. Like it's just a lot of stuff that it's just too much. It's too much, and I need to retrain my brain to say stop. What are you doing? Stop. You don't need to do everything, right? And I believe Mel Robbins, I think in her podcast they talked about or maybe it was Brittany Brown. I don't remember. Two wonderful ladies, like they're so good. Um, she mentioned that we are so hard on ourselves and we are so like mean to ourselves. You know, we don't have to be mean. We don't have to be super mom. We don't have to be like a superhero or like something like who the fuck cares? You know, like just do your shit and yeah,
I live.
stop. You know, like yeah, I literally have to tell myself stop.
Like when I took the break on Thursday for the podcast, I was like, I am gonna freak out here if I don't just stop. And I did. I,
Like you will.
yeah. I'm telling you, I was gonna.
Yeah.
Can't you just do it yourself?
And you know what happens? You fall into your addictions. It all combines. It all combines because then you start doing something that you're gonna want to.
I'm gonna take my mind off of it. I'm gonna go gamble.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
go to the casino real quick.
Like,
You know, maybe when I come back, I'll probably justify it.
Yeah.
I love justify the word. That's like
Yeah.
justify. Oh, starting right here, justify. Mr. Justify.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's hard. It's hard, and like going back to like the timeliness, like we mean absolutely no harm. Like we mean not one like bit of like we're not even thinking that. We're thinking of like I have so much stuff to do, like, and I need to do it, right? And it's just so much stuff that's so unnecessary that we do to ourselves, right? And I don't know. Shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's overwhelming. It could really stuff that they have out now that they didn't have before, or they like with research with time and stuff, and the more advanced they get, it's crazy the things they can test for. Like they can scan your brain and they can find what is wrong with you. What's wrong with your brain? Like,
Yeah.
if our brains are so fucked up, like why do we like leave it for the last thing, right? Like we, like we could get a big cut, whatever, we're going to that emergency room, whatever, right? Or glue it, whatever. But like when it comes to like our mental, like the first thing we do, I mean, if you don't know how to, cope or you don't know how to do your thing, but
You like to self-medicate.
yeah.
And that's why there's
shopping,
trouble.
and that's
Drinking. Throw gas.
yeah, I mean,
Gambling.
Gambling.
yeah.
Could be anything.
Yep. And I did want to go over one more thing before we kind of talk about something else that we're not supposed to be talking about. You like how you wrote that in? Okay, this one, right? And you guys are no. I love projects. Projects are my jam, right? I love like my house. Like I don't even know how many things I have going on in my house. Tell me how many of them are finished.
Exactly. You have a
Tell me
lot
how
of
many of them are
projects,
finished.
yeah.
Two,
Two,
and I want to change it so bad. But that's another thing. That's another thing that you're constantly
Oh my god.
not finishing your things, right? It's incomplete, and it's crazy how our brains work. But I'd love to talk more about this. Like I mentioned before, I just got diagnosed a couple months ago, so I'm learning all this stuff, and I'm kind of, I am on medication, and I'm still taking it. Oh, I did want to talk about that really quick. I know I said that I was going to let you guys know how it was going. So I ended up taking it at night because it makes me really, really tired, right? And same thing, I think it was with you. It was making me really tired, so I took it at night. In the morning, I'm like, no brain fog. Do you experience that?
Okay, so the only thing I don't take at night is the second one. Because that one's you're supposed to take 4 hours later. Should I just take it at the same time, all at once?
I take everything at one time, like one gulp.
Okay.
Cocktail.
Starting tonight, we're having a mix. Remix!
That's funny.
We just need to put a bell or something,
Right? Oh my
just in
god.
case we like.
It's interesting though how medicine is like so different. Like the one that I take for my anxiety, I have to eat first because then I get super nauseous, and I have to break it in half because it's like a 50 milligram. So I have to break it in half because 50 by itself, I'm like shaky.
Yeah.
And then the one that I got recently for like PTSD, it says I have to take it in the morning. And so it's like, oh my God, I have so many to remember. So it's like doing a cocktail like that would work better. But then it's like, I don't want to be nauseous at work. Like, ugh.
That's true.
But that's interesting. They gave me Zoloft.
Zoloft?
Uh-huh.
Or...
It's called sertraline, but it's
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
off-brand of Zoloft.
I
Mm-hmm.
think I had that
I
before.
was taking that before,
Mhm.
and then I think I just like plateaued and like I didn't feel anything.
I didn't like
Yeah.
They put me
Mhm.
on. Which one's the one that you didn't like?
Lexapro?
Zoloft. I like
No,
that.
no, no,
That's
no.
one
It
I'm
was
on right
another
now.
one that you were like, I hate it, and it was like,
Start with the F.
I think.
Fluoxetine?
No,
Yes.
Oh,
Fluoxetine,
What is?
yeah.
I know that's a generic, but what's the
Prozac?
I think it's Prozac.
Prozac? Yeah,
Yeah.
because you
I
took
don't
Prozac,
like
you didn't
that.
like it, right? That's
Like,
what we're taking.
That's no, we're taking Wellbutrin and we're taking Abilify. Those
Okay,
are those are the main
another-
ones.
Okay.
So we all take medicine for
Yeah.
mental health, okay? Therapy is not, not the only thing we take medicine. It's in conjunction.
There's so many.
Yes.
like, a
So,
roulette.
Yes.
do you notice a difference with this medicine?
Okay, so the only thing that I've noticed that I love is the brain fog.
Mm.
Because that was so hard for me that I'm like, you think this is bad, it's way worse, right? But that's all.
We
it
have
does.
to come back tomorrow.
No, that's all it does. So it
Yeah.
doesn't do the other things that I want it to do. Like I want to remember everything. I want to,
Mhm.
be on time. I want to do all these things. It's like, but I know medication is not gonna fix everything. It's just kind of like a guide or whatever.
Mhm.
But Dr. Amen, he has his own. I think it was the ones with the test because then he has his own supplements and stuff that I'm really interested. I have to save for it because I can't afford it because I
The VA
can't
won't
pay
give it to you?
cash. Huh?
The VA won't give it to you?
Oh, I don't know.
So ask.
I should.
That would have been the first thing.
Charge
Charge
I
it.
didn't even think of that.
Charge it to the VA.
it to the VA, yeah.
I'm gonna ask that because it's all like supplements, like
Didn't
you
have
take
an
the
arrow?
test, right? Like the
Yeah.
one we took, and then it gives you the number, and then it tells you like what supplements will help you, and all the supplements are like they're all natural
like
stuff.
vitamin, whatever.
Yeah, like herbal stuff, and you know what? That's something that we would love to get into, like the holistic stuff. So if anybody out there is into that, or share it with us. Like I want to know how to not self-medicate, but like go the holistic way, right? Like I don't want to take all these pills, but I know that it's helping me right now, so I'm not gonna stop taking them,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-mm.
But
Like Lexapro has helped me so much, I think.
Really?
Yeah, it's mellowed me out.
That's good.
Now, one time I stopped taking it because in the VA you have to order it online, right? Do you go to your app? Like there's an app
yeah, I still call.
Oh, you can call and go to their app, and I go to their app and I'm like, oh no, it ran out. I didn't realize that I
Oh
was running out.
no, that's
So I
the
went like
worst.
3 days without it, and my head was just like.
You should, in that case, you could ask if they can give you like an emergency
Just
bill.
go get it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they might.
Next time I'm gonna do that.
They
you
might.
you could get the option of picking it up, but it's freaking
far.
far.
All right, so
let's
that's
wrap this
it.
up. Yeah, because I definitely want to talk about this more, like I mentioned
You
before.
can do episode
But
2 on this.
yeah, definitely, and it'll be a little bit more informative. This one is just like the stuff that I'm picking up. But yeah, this shit is crazy.
Like us.
It's just another part of crazy, right? Because there's different parts of crazy.
Loco. Use the right word,
Or
loco.
That's funny. On the way home, I was listening from last week's episode. I was listening to Cypress Hill radio on Pandora, and have you guys heard the Spanish version of it?
No.
It says loco and coco or something like that. That's what it's called. I swear. And it says it like, I'm gonna look it up. I'll throw it up on our
Like Insane in the
Instagram.
Membrane?
Yeah, like Insane in the Membrane, but it said like loco and el coco, and I was like, what? I totally forgot. I was gonna text it to you guys. Yeah, but I was like, what? I've never heard the Spanish version. That's funny. Yeah. All right. All right, so that's our segment on ADHD. Next week we're gonna talk about therapy. So if you have any questions, please send them into our Instagram, which also follow us on Instagram, so that way you can send us DMs.
Next week we're gonna go live on Instagram. Actually.
Oh yeah, we're gonna try doing live
Give it
because
a
somebody
shot.
suggested that. So if you have other stuff that you want to hear us talk about, or anything else, like if you have any questions about anything that we've already talked about, send us a DM on Instagram.
None of us will answer.
Yeah.
We're all linked. We're all linked to the
Yeah.
Instagram page.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yep.
not all of us check it. Very bad.
That's the ADHD.
Right.
Imagine if I was on there, I would never get my work done. Or
No,
my...
it's true.
Mm-hmm.
She would sit there and wait for a response. Wait for a question to just stare at.
No, I'm saying like it would take over my work.
Oh.
Like during work,
Oh.
like I had to cut it because I used to go on Pinterest a lot. Like,
Oh. Uh-huh.
And I was like, nope, I can't do that anymore. So that's why I don't go on my phone as much because I'm telling my brain like, no, 'cause
Yeah.
I'm not gonna finish the task.
That's good.
That's good, yeah.
Anyway, that's it.
Well, therapy next week.
Yep, we're talking about therapy
Alright.
next week. So if you have any questions, let us know.
That's a lot.
It is
Therapy for what?
for in general, like our experiences with therapy.
Our experiences.
Ooh, that's good.
I
Or
know,
our
me
lack
too.
of.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Justification. We
That's
should have a little button where it lights up justify.
funny.
No.
All right.
All right. So.
Stay tuned.
All right. Thank you for joining us here at the Don't You Know I'm Local podcast. If you are in need of any medical care, please contact your local provider. If you are having thoughts of suicide, please call the National Suicide Hotline at 899. In case of an emergency, call 911. Join us next week as we talk about
The things we're not supposed to talk about.
All right. Cool. See you next week. And
Bye.
hit the subscribe button.
Bye.
Hit that button.
Like
or
and
hit
subscribe.
something. Follow whatever shows
Follow
up on the thing.
Instagram,
Just
everything.
hit it.